Mabuhay! Si Teacher Hill po ng Teacher Hill and Ted YouTube channel. Una sa lahat, maraming salamat po sa aming mga naging subscriber. Bago tayo mag-umpisa ng lesson sa video natin, huwag munang kalimutan mag-subscribe and click the notification bell para sa ganon updated kayo sa mga lesson at video ng Teacher Hill and Ted.
There are varied things around you that you should know how things are related to each other, like how is time related to the speed of a vehicle, or even as simple as the relationship of the length of your arm spanned with your height. Another situation is when your mother asks you to buy a rice which costs 55 pesos a kilo. If 1 kilo costs 55 pesos, how much 10 kilos of rice costs? In this situation, the more kilos of rice, the more money you will pay. In this video, we will have to study the direct variation, direct square variation, and inverse variation. Direct variation. When two quantities increase at the same time or decrease at the same time. For two quantities, x and y, an increase in x causes an increase in y as well. Similarly, a decrease in x causes a decrease in y. Ibig sabihin nun, kapag ang value ng x ay tumataas, ang value din ng y ay tataas din. Kung ang value ng x ay pababa, ang value ng y ay pababa din. There is a direct variation whenever a situation produces pairs of numbers in which the ratio is a constant. The statements y varies directly as x, or y is proportional to x, may be translated mathematically as y equals kx, where k is a constant of variation. In our previous lesson, you were able to represent the relationship between two quantities using graphs, tables, and equation. You can see from the table values that as the value x increases, the value y also increases. The graphs, it is a line that rises to the right. This is an illustration of direct variation. So natatandaan nyo, nung kayo ay grade 8, pinag-aralan natin ang graph. When the graph rises to the right, it means that the graph is increasing. This means that y varies directly as x in symbol, or y equals kx, or y over x equals k, where k is the constant of the variable or variation, or constant of proportionality. In this case, the constant of this equation is 2. Another example, you will be celebrating your 14th day or your 14th birthday, and you want to have 14 balloons in your birthday party. The table below shows the numbers of balloons, x represented as the number of balloons, and the corresponding cost represented as y. As you can see, the value of x increase. The value of y also increase. Hence, the cost of the balloons varies directly to the number of balloons. Since y varies directly as x, find the constant of variation k and the equation of direct variation. So what we will have to do here is we will have to find the constant or the value of k and write the equation of the direct variation.
Okay, let us continue. Example number 2. Since y varies directly as x, find the constant of the variation k and the equation of the direct variation. So, yung formula ng direct variation is y equals kx. Kapag constant ang hinahanap, k equals y over x. Based on sa given nating table sa 14th birthday, ang x daw ay equals to 2 and y equals to 10. So ano yung question na isasagutin natin? What is the constant? So ang formula ng constant ay k equals y over x. So substituting the value. So ano yung value ng y? Y equals 10. And substitute the value of x where x equals to 2. Then 10 divided by 2, so k equals to 5. So ang constant ng ating given na example, k equals to 5. Second question, what is our equation? So the equation of the direct variation is y equals kx. Okay, this is the equation. So, substitute lang. Ano yung nakuha nating value ng constant, which is 5? So, our equation of this problem, y equals, k is the constant, which is 5. 5 times x. So, this is the second answer in problem number 2. Example number 3. Y varies directly as x if y equals to 12 when x equals to 4. First question, find the constant of variation. B, what is the equation? And C, what is x when y equals to 36? So let us answer letter A. Find the constant. So what is the constant formula of the direct variation? So meron tayong tatlong formula dito. So y equals k times x. K equals y over x. Kapag hinahanap yung constant, if x is missing, y equals to k. So sinulat na natin para isa-substitute na lang po natin. So, yung first question natin, what is the constant of the variation in number 3? So, ano ang formula ng constant? So, k equals y over x. So, k, substitute the value of y. Ano ang y? Y is 12. And x equals to 4. So, 12 divided by 4, our k is equals to 3. So, this is the first question in our question number 3. Okay, letter B. What will be the equation of the variation? So, the formula is y equals kx. So, this is the equation. So, y equals, ano yung nakuha nating value ng constant? Constant is equals to 3. So, substitute k by 3, then x. So, this is our equation and the question for letter B. The equation in this direct variation is y equals 3x. And letter C. Okay. When y equals 36, what is the value of x? So, substitute lang. Ano po yung formula natin? X equals y over k. So, x equals y over k. Ito yung letter C sa question number 3. Then, x equals, what is the value of y? When y is 36. Okay? And what is the constant? So, based on sa given natin, ang constant natin ay 3. And 36 divided by 3, our x equals to 12. When the value of x is 12, the value of y equals 36. So, ito yung tatlong sagot natin sa question number 3. The constant, the equation, and the value of x when y equals 36. Okay, so let us now proceed to the problem number 1 in the direct square variation. Y varies directly as the square of x if y equals 27 when x equals to 3. So, meron tayong tatlong formula in the direct square variation. Direct square variation, it means yung x natin ay second degree. Okay, ano yung given? Ang given po natin, y equals 27. When x equals to 3. So, yan po yung given. Ang first question, what is the constant of variation? Or what is the constant of the direct square variation? So, ito po yung gagamitin natin. So, k equals y over x squared. So, substitute lang po natin. So, k equals, what is y in our given? Y equals 27 over x. X is 3. Kaya lang, that is x squared. Yung 3 natin, i-squared din natin. Okay, simplify. K equals 27 over 3 squared is 9. So, that is 3 times 3 is 9. And 27 divided by 9, k equals 3. So, yun yung first question natin sa example natin sa direct square variation. What is the constant? Okay. Okay. So, second question in question number 1. What is the equation of the direct square variation? So, nakuha na natin ang value ng constant which is 3. So, ano po yung equation? Substitute lang po. Y equals, ano yung k? Ang k natin, based doon sa nakuha natin given, k equals 3. And, write x squared. So, this is our equation of the direct square variation. Question in number 1, letter C. What is x when y equals 81? So, based on sa nakuha natin given, our equation is y equals 3x squared. So, sa substitute lang natin. Okay? So, we have C equals x. Okay, yung letter C natin. X equals the square root of y over x. Y over k. So, substitute lang po natin. Okay, x equals, what is y? 81. What is k? That is 3. 81 divided by 3, lagay natin dito. So, x equals, 81 divided by 3, that is x equals square root of 27. Okay. So, although wala pa tayong radicals na nadi-discuss, pero naman meron tayong idea. So, isi-simplify natin ang square root of 27. Kuha lang tayo ng factor ng 27 na merong perfect square. Ano ba ang factor ng 27 na may perfect square? So, that is x equals the square root of 9 times 3. Okay, 9 is a perfect square. So, pwede na natin kunin. Ano ang square root of 9? So, that is 3. Okay? And square root of 3 is also square root of 3. So, that is the value of x. X equals 3 square root of 3. Okay, question number 2. If P varies directly as the square of Q, if P equals 256 when Q equals 8, find the constant variation. Letter B, what will be the equation? And letter C, what is P when Q equals to square root of 3? Okay, letter A. So, hanapin po natin ang constant. So, the formula of the constant is K equals P over Q squared. Kaya ito po yung ginamit natin kasi yung two variables po natin is P and Q. Kaya hindi po natin inilagay as X and Y. Okay? So, substitute. So, the value of P. So, K equals P equals 256 over Q equals 8. So, that is square. So, gagawin rin natin square ang 8. So, simplify. So, we have K equals 256 over 8 times 8. So, that is equals to 64. Simplify. 256 divided by 64. So, our K equals 4. So, ang constant po natin ay equals to 4. So, that is for letter A. Okay, for letter B. So, yung question for letter B is what will be the equation? So, the equation will be P equals K times Q squared. Okay. So, nakuha natin kanina. Ano yung nakuha nating value ng K or the constant? Ang constants ay equal to 4. So, substitute lang natin. Kasi ang tinatanong ay equation. So, P equals K is 4 times Q squared. So, this is the equation of our direct square variation in question number 2. So, next, letter C. When Q equals 2 square root of 3, the question is what is the value of P? So, ano ang hinahanap ay P? Ito ang gagamitin natin formula. So, letter C. So, P equals K times Q squared. Okay. So, P, ano yung value ng K or what is the constant? So, K equals 4. Then, Q, that is 2 square root of 3. So, substitute lang. So, that is 2 square root of 3. Kaya lang, ang Q natin ay may square, kaya lalagyan din natin ng square ang 2 square root of 3. Simplify. Okay? So, 4, simplify muna natin ang square. So, simplify ng the square of 2 square root of 3. So, 2 times 2, 4. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. Kaya 4 times 3, so that is 12. Again, The square of 2 square root of 3 is 12. Kasi 2 times 2 is 4, square root of 3 is 3, and 3 times 4, that is 12. Continue, simplify natin. So 4 times 12, that is 48. So our P is equals to 48. If Q equals 2 square root of 3, our P equals 48. So this is the example of number 2 in the direct square variation.
The next video is the inverse variation. In real life, there are different situations that show inverse relation. Inverse variation states that y varies inversely as x, or y is inversely proportional to x. If there is non-zero constant k such that y equals k over x, or k equals x times y. The decrease of one quantity results to the increase of the other quantity. Ibig sabihin, sa inverse variation, kung variable na x and y, kung ang x ay pababa, ang value naman ng y ay pataas. Or, kung ang x ay pataas, ang value naman ng y ay pababa. Example number 1 in the inverse variation. The table below or on the right side shows the number of person working together. So this X represents the person working together. And Y, and the number of hours, or Y, the job is completed. Find the constant of variation and equation.
Example for the inverse variation. So find the constant of the variation and equation. So for the example number 1. Okay? So yung mga formula, y equals k over x when y varies inversely to x. Okay? So constant equals x times y. At kapag hinahanap naman ang x, so x equals k over y. So based na sa given na table natin, if x equals to 1, y equals to 12. So, yung first question, what is the constant of variation? So, ito po yung gagamitin natin. So, constant equals x times y. So, k equals, what is x? 1 times, what is y? 2. So, 1 times 2, so our constant equals to 2. So, let us continue. What will be the equation? So, equation of our inverse variation. So, bakit natin siya masasabi na inverse? When x increases, the value of y decreases. Okay, so what will be our equation? So the equation, so y equals k over x. So y, what will be the value of k? Based on our given, k equals 2 over x. So this is the equation of example number 1 of that inverse variation. Example number 2. If y varies inversely as x, when y equals 20, when x equals to 8. Question, what is the constant variation? What is the variation equation? What is y when x is 16? So first, isosolve natin yung constant. So, formula ng constant, k equals x times y. So, inverse variation. Okay? So, constant equals x times y. Substituting the value of x and y to our equation, x is 8, y is 20. And 8 times 20 equals 160. So, the constant equals to 160. Letter B, the equation. Okay, the equation of our inverse variation. So, formula, y equals k over x. Substituting, y equals, what is k? 160 over x. So, this is our equation. And letter C. Okay, letter C. If x equals 16, y is equals to 8. So, kukunin lang natin. Ito lang yung gagawin nating formula. Sa substitute lang natin. So, hinahanap si y. So, y equals k over x. What is k? Or constant? K is 160. What is x? X equals 16. And simplifying, 160 divided by 16, so that is equals to 10. Y equals to 10. If x is 16, y equals to 10. Yan po yung sagot sa number 2. Constant is 160. Equation is 160 over x. And value of y equals 10.
Problem solving number 3. The rate R of the car varies inversely with the time t. The car travels at a rate of 60 km per hour or 60 kph for 1.5 hours. Find the rate of the car when it took 1 hour to travel the same distance. Okay. In this case, the faster the car travel, the shorter time it will take to cover the same distance. Hence, the constant of variation here is the distance.
Okay. In question number 3, the formula of the distance is rate times time. And the formula of the rate equals distance over time. Our given class, the rate is 60 km per hour. And the time is 1.5. So, what is the distance? The problem is, find the rate of the car when it took 1 hour with the same distance. So first, we will have to get the distance or kukunin muna natin yung distance. So ang distance natin, based dun sa formula, distance is equal to rate times time. So distance equals, our rate is 60, our time is 1.5, and 60 times 1.5, the distance is 90 kilometers. So, this is the same distance that we have. So, ito yung distance na given tayo. From the rate of 60 km per hour at mayroon tayong time na 1.5. Paano kung hinahanap natin ang rate, given tayo ng 1 hour at meron tayong same distance na ang distance natin na nakuha ay 90 km. So, ano ang formula na gagamitin natin? Rate equals distance over time. Substitute. Ano yung distance natin? with the same distance in our given. So the distance is 90 kilometer divided by the time is 1 hour. 90 divided by 1, so that is equal to 90 kilometer per hour. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ang oras ay mas maiksi, mas mabilis yung tinatakbo niya kung pinag-uusapan natin ay same distance. Nung una natin, kung ang rate natin ay 60 km per hour at nakuha niya ng 1.5, ang distance ay 90 km. Okay? So, mabagal, mas mahaba. Okay? So, maiksi, pero ang bilis niya ay mas mabilis. So, that is 90 km per hour.
In our learning task, so complete the table of y varies directly as x or x squared. So in this activity, we will have to answer two numbers. First one is the first row, and the second one is the fourth row. So yung second and third, kayo na po yung magsabi.
Okay, learning task 1, letter A. Okay? So, dalawa lang yung pinili ko. Yung number 1, y equals 30, x is 5, what is k, and what is the equation. At yung susundin na naman natin gagawin sa letter A, yung pang-apat na row, y is 72, x is missing, constant is missing, yun yung gagawin natin. Okay, for number 1, what is the constant? So, this is a directly as x. Y varies directly as x or x squared. Dahil ito ay x lang or direct variation, so yung formula ng constant natin is y over x. So, substitute based dun sa given. What is y? 30. What is x? 5. So, our constant is equals to 6. Okay, ganyan yung gagawin natin sa learning task 1A. How about the equation? So, ano yung equation natin? So, our equation is y equals kx. So, y, what is the constant? So, that is 6 and x. So, our equation is y equals 6x. Okay, learning task 1A number 4. The given, y equals 72. Find x, find k. And the given, the equation is y equals 2x squared. So, in this case, napakadali na para makuha yung k kung given ang equation. So, k equals, so this is the equation. Remember that the formula of the direct variation y equals k x squared. Okay? There is y varies directly the square of x. So, eto na yung constant. Ang constant natin is k equals 2. Okay. So, ang k equals to 2. Next is find the value of x. So, kukunin natin using the equation. So, y equals 2x squared. What is y? In our given, y equals 72. Equals 2x squared. Then, eliminate ang 2, isolate ang x, so divided by both sides by 2. So, we have 36 equals, so 2x squared divided by 2, or simplify, cancel, so we have x squared. So, this one, x squared equals 36. So, symmetric lang. So, 36 equals x squared is also equal to x squared equals 36. So, get the square root of both sides. So, the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 36 is 6. So, the value of x in this given is 6. So, ganyan lang po yung gagawin natin sa learning task 1A. Kung hinahanap naman yung value ng x, okay, sa third row, parehas lang to. Hindi nyo nakukunin yung square root. So, napakadali yung value ng k sa third row. Okay, how about y? So, substitute lang yung nakuha nating value. I-multiply lang natin, yun yung magiging value ng ating equation.
In learning task 1, letter B, complete the table if y varies inversely as x. So again, you will have to answer the first row. I will have to answer the first row, or ako ang gagawa ng first row, find the k and the equation, and the third row. Find the value of x, find the constant of the given inverse. Then, yung second and fourth, kayo na po yung magagawa. Ipapakita ko lang po yung example 1 or yung given 1 na task at saka yung pangatlo dun sa inverse.
Learning task 1B is about inversely as x. Y varies inversely as x. For the formula, y equals k over x kapag inverse. Constant, k equals x times y. If we are looking for the value of x, x equals k over y. So in our given, y equals 5, x equals 6, find the constant, find the equation. Okay, how to get the constant? So constant is k equals x times y. So k, substitute the value of x and y. X is 6 times the value of y is 5. So, 6 times 5, k equals 30. So, ito yung constant natin. How about the equation? So, the equation is y equals k over x. Okay, substitute. Y equals, what is the constant? So, that is 30 over x. So, ito po yung learning task 1B number 1. So, hinahanap ay k at saka hinahanap ay equation. So, k equals 30 and the equation is y equals 30 over x. Okay, question number 3 sa learning task 1B. So, our given y equals 20. What is x? What is the constant? Another given, the equation is y equals 50 over x. So, in this case, napakadali lang kunin ang constant. Hindi na kayo magko-compute. Because the formula is y equals k over x. When y varies inversely as x. So, ito na yung equation natin. So, this 50 represent as our k. So, k equals 50. So, ang kinuha doon po sa equation natin. Kasi, y equals k over x, where k equals 50. Now, what is x? Hanapin natin yung value ng x. So, sa substitute lang natin. Ito yung gagamitin natin. So, x equals k over y. So, x, ano ang k natin? So, that is 50. And what is y? So, that is 20. So, 50 over 20, lowest term. So, x is equals to 5 over 2 or 2.5. Okay? So, that is the value of x.
Problem solving. The distance d from the center of the seesaw varies inversely as the weight of a person. JB, who weighs 50 kilogram, sits 3 feet from the fulcrum. How far from the fulcrum must JP sit in order to balance with JB if he weighs 30 kilogram? Oh, okay, alam nyo naman kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng siso. Okay? So, si JB weighs 50 kilogram. So, ang distance niya from the fulcrum is 3 feet. Yung fulcrum, yun yung pinakagitna. And JP weighs 30 kilogram. Ang question, saan siya pupwesto from the fulcrum? Gaano yung distance niya? Okay, tingnan yung ating solution for number 1. So, yung number 1, ang question ay inverse variation.
Okay, in solution for our task 4 question number 1. So, D equals constant over weight. Okay? Kapag hinahanap naman natin ang constant, K equals distance times weight. So, ano yung given natin sa problem? So, given, ang D natin ay 3 feet at ang weight natin ay 50 kilogram. Okay? So, next naman natin, ito ay si JB. Si JP naman, ang tinatanong ay distance niya from the fulcrum at may weight si JP na 30 kilogram. Okay, paano natin isosolve yan? Kukunin muna natin ang constant. So, solve for K. So, K equals D times W. Ano ang D natin? Ang D natin ay 3 feet times the weight, which is 50 kilogram. So, K, or the constant, is 150. Okay, so ito yung constant natin, which is 150. Ngayon, makukuha na natin ang distance. So, D equals K over weight. Ito ngayon ay si JP. So, ano yung hinahanap natin dito? Yung distance ni JP. So, D equals, what is our constant? Ang constant natin is 150 at ang weight natin ni JP ay 30. So, 150 divided by 30, so we have 5 feet. So, 5 feet yung sagot natin for question number 1. Okay? Kuha? Kuha mo.
Last problem from this video. The number of pages P that Ethan reads varies directly as the number of hours T he is reading. The question, write the variation equation. And letter B, if he can read 21 pages in 7 minutes, how many pages can he read in 21 minutes? So in question number 2, we will have to use the formula of direct variations because in this problem, varies directly. Okay.
Okay. Last problem for problem solving task for number 2 for week 1. Okay? So yung ating question or variation sa number 2 is direct variation. So ano ang formula ng direct variation? So y equals kx. and solve for the constant k equals y over x. So, ano yung given natin sa problem? Si Ethan ay may 21 pages into 7 minutes. So, in 7 minutes, nakakabasa si Ethan ng 21 pages. Kung meron siyang 21 minutes, ilang pages kaya ang mababasa ni Ethan? First step. Okay? So, find the constant. Ano ang constant natin? So, 21 divided by 7. Ano itong 21 na to? Ito yung y. At yung 7, ito yung x. So, constant is 21 divided by 7. So, that is equals to 3. So, ang constant natin ay equals to 3. Ngayon, hinahanap ngayon kung 21 minutes. So, kung ang constant natin ay 3. So, y equals, the constant is 3 times ang x natin ay 21 minutes. Kung 21 minutes kaya, ilang pages yung mababasa ni Ethan? So, 3 times 21, that is 63 pages. For every 7 minutes, may 21 pages na nababasa si Ethan. At for every 21 minutes, merong 63 pages na nababasa si Ethan. Sana naintindihan nyo yung lesson natin for direct variation, square variation, and inverse variation. Huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe and watch para matuto.
Thank you for watching. Keep safe and God bless.